So Anita Diver goes out there to go search this pond, and they come up to the end of the road, and here's this church. And then there's an old building there, which I know the man's name, but I'm not going to put it out there.
That was Glenda's, my stepmom's property. Her brothers were for a place, and there's 3 of them on this property. They gave them to him, and he took them.
Who's he?
Archie, yeah.
Because we're wondering if he's the guy that gave Frank the alibi, because when Nita Diver got up there, Frank Light came out of that trailer that was sitting up behind the church, drunk, raising hell, telling them to all fuck off and get the fuck out of there. And Nita Diver called Cam and was like, hell, you didn't tell me fucking Frank Light was going to be up here. So what we're figuring is that guy that Frank was up there getting drunk with, right up the road from where Frank's supposed to be, if he was up there getting drunk with that guy, and that guy is the one that gave Frank the alibi for cleaning out a fence row behind this church where his trailer is. Because wouldn't that just be convenient for a drinking buddy to give you an alibi?
Damn, killer. It's so good.
Summer Wells was just 5 years old when she vanished from her home in rural Hawkins County, Tennessee on June 15, 2021. Her family said she was last seen at home before she just disappeared. That was the story. But as investigators and true seekers began to dig deeper, they found themselves in a web of odd behavior, conflicting stories, and an overwhelming number of people connected to the case who were all somehow intertwined. To understand this case, you have to understand the people around it. Don Wells, Summer's father, is the most suspicious character of all in this case. He said he was at work the day she disappeared, but everyone around the Wells says he was at home. Candace Bly, Summer's mother, was the last known adult with her. Her friend Marlena was allegedly present the same day and is reported to have let her daughter stay multiple nights with Summer at her home just days before she went missing. Hunter, a teenage boy who was with them earlier that day, gave an unsettling interview recounting strange events. His mother, Allie, who is no longer living, another old friend of Candace's, said Hunter was never the same after he returned home from his trip with Candace and Summer that day. Then there's Jody Sue Brown, a neighbor who was on Ben Hill Road the day Summer disappeared, who seems to control and monitor a lot of the online activity. Andy Bernard, Jody's ex, made public statements pointing fingers and denying his presence on Ben Hill Road that day. Fred Hill, the daily voice on YouTube, with inside knowledge and bold accusations. These are just a few names among at least 20 who were close to the Wells family or to the scene, neighbors, friends, or people otherwise involved in Summer's life. These individuals aren't strangers. Many of them are neighbors. Many of them knew each other long before Summer vanished. The reality in the Summer Wells case is straightforward. Whatever happened to her, the individual responsible remains unidentified and at large. Alongside her disappearance, a series of deaths emerged, events that appear in multiple instances to intersect with the people, locations, and rumors circulating in the case. It begins when Summer was reported missing from Ben Hill Road. The Ben Hill Holler was shut down, but the holler doesn't stop for no one. The next morning, Pumpkin Taylor was found deceased in a neighboring town. Pumpkin was the cousin of Ricky Jr. and Marlena. Local accounts suggest a personal entanglement. The mother of Pumpkin's children had reportedly been involved with both cousins, later settling with Ricky Jr. At that time, Ricky Jr. was said to be living at the far end of Light Hollow's Dead End Road, adjacent to Ben Hill, an area familiar to many but seldom connected to the larger picture. Until now. Light Hollow is the next holler over from Ben Hill, and as you will come to learn shortly, is very important to the Summer Wells case.
So Anita Diver goes out there to go search this pond, and they come up to the end of the road, and here's this church. And then there's an old building there, which I know the man's name, but I'm not going to put it out there.
That was Glenda's, my stepmom's property. Her brothers were for there's three of them on this property. They gave them to him and he took them.
Who's he?
Archie, yeah.
Because we're wondering if he's the guy that gave Frank the alibi, because when Nita Diver got up there, Frank Light came out of that trailer that was sitting up behind the church, drunk, raising hell, telling them to all fuck off and get the fuck out of there. And Nita Diver called Cam and was like, hell, you didn't tell me fucking Frank Light was going to be up here. So what we're figuring is that guy that Frank was up there getting drunk with, right up the road from where Frank's supposed to be, if he was up there getting drunk with that guy, and that guy is the one that gave Frank the alibi for cleaning out a fence row behind this church where his trailer is. Because wouldn't that just be convenient for a drinking buddy to give you an alibi?
Here recently, Marlena publicly responded to statements made by Andy B., who had alleged that Summer was buried in Morrison Cemetery. Marlena countered with her own claims that Andy knew more than he had revealed, and that Chad Arnold, her sister's husband and a gravedigger at that same cemetery, was directly connected to events surrounding Summer's disappearance.
How did he know that that person or whoever was at the graveyard and, that truck and all that? They were all together as a clan.
Exactly.
Him and Fred Hill and Cotton and Chad Arnold, and all of them was together on the same exact fucking day. Now come on. Don't sit here and tell me that Andy doesn't know something. Andy knows something. So does his wife. So does Candace. So does Dawn. So does Chad. So does Cotton did. That's why Cotton lost his wife.
Chad is the man who, at the same time Summer went missing, arrived at Fred's property on Ben Hill and saw Candace walking down Fred's driveway. Fred was not home, and according to accounts, this was the only recorded time Candace visited his property. Shortly after, she was seen heading toward the back of Light Hollow in the search for Summer, which is ironically located directly behind Fred's place.
You can cross this mountain right here, and you can be in, unfortunately, Fred Hill's backyard.
Fred Hill's backyard.
Yeah. Hey, and it's like, even when the cops come, I tried to tell him, I said, dude, I know, because I ginseng, I hunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I know spots, like, hey. And I showed them, they didn't even know where that holler was by that pond there.
Who didn't? The authorities?
The authorities, no, there's another.
Did they search back here?
Yeah. Yeah, they searched. The Manhattan search was down there.
Yep. How long ago was that?
Gosh, that's been 6 months.
So where they all drove here and then just parked and then looked?
Yeah, they searched 2 different times. One time they parked down here, and the other time they walked in.
The weeks that followed Summer's disappearance only deepened the shadows. Don Wells would be accused of trying to lure a girl into his truck at Bays Mountain, a girl who happened to be the granddaughter of Roy Lynn Cotton Simpson.
So the next thing I freaking hear is this fucking little girl's mother fucking gets on fucking YouTube or Facebook or whatever, says I tried to coerce that little girl into my truck. That's the thanks I get for trying to make sure that little girl was safe. The fucking little girl's fucking bitch mother fucking spread the word that I was trying to coerce that little girl into my truck or some bullshit.
And see what a coincidence is. Where Cotton is right here, where Cotton's vehicle was found right there, where his body was found right here. Right here's right under there's where on this next road the house sits right under this bank that Don tried to pick up that little girl. See what I'm trying to say? It's all right here in one little circle.
Cotton's name would come to carry its own gravity in this story. He and a relative, Marvin, were both seen drifting in and out of Ben Hill on the day Summer disappeared. More than a year later, Cotton would be found dead at the back edge of his property. Bays Mountain terrain he knew better than most, threaded with caves, waterfalls, and drops steep enough to swallow the truth whole. Cotton wasn't always this way, we are told. He was once a well-rounded man, once a park employee and avid outdoorsman. He even worked as a janitor at a local school. Later in life, he slid into meth production, violence, and a paranoia that even his own family couldn't navigate. Diagnosed as clinically insane, scarred by traumatic brain injuries, he cycled through state hospitals and jail cells, protective orders from his own sister Brenda Wallen just 5 days before he died. That order was dismissed the very day his body was found. No autopsy was made public, no press statement from authorities, only a quiet obituary. In the aftermath, the arrests began to fall like dominoes. Weeks later, Ricky Jr., Punkin's ex and Cotton's brother-in-law, was picked up on gun and drug charges. That same day, Dudley Ajan, Don's former co-worker and someone he had just gotten into it with the day before Summer went missing, was also arrested on near-identical charges. Not long after, Fred Hill himself was hit with drug charges and given a polygraph exam. He insisted it wasn't about Summer, but about Cotton's death, and about something Cotton told him before the end.
Fred Hill was arrested yesterday. So, custody status date as of June 13th, 4 p.m. Eastern. So he was booked in at 4:41 p.m. Eastern, Hawkins County Jail. That's his mugshot.
Today marks 2 years since a little girl in Tennessee vanished from her rural home. Her name is Summer Wells. Sheriff declined an interview in the case. He did email us, though, saying he expects an update on the case in the near future.
He expects an update on the case in the near future.
Hey. Okay, cool.
They had me on suicide watch because of what I was telling you the other night.
Yeah, what happened?
They took and choked me out in a cell. They was trying to make some dope, get, I don't know, something that had moved out of the cell or something other, and about done me in. I think they may have found her.
You think they may have found her?
Because he wouldn't straight up answer me. When I asked him if she was in the cave.
In the cave? You think, is that where you were thinking she was?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying she was off like a cliff.
She is underwater.
So you think that they may have found her, really?
Because they wouldn't answer.
They wouldn't.
They would just say that they found the cave.
They found the cave?
Yeah.
So, okay, once again.
When I asked what's wrong,
Yeah.
they found the cave.
So when you asked if they found Summer, they wouldn't answer you?
No.
They avoided the question?
Yes, so it's like that they did. They're wanting to give me
Oh, are you going to take it?
not yet.
Are you going to?
Yes, I know my club.
You said yes? Okay, awesome. So, okay, when did you find, when?
That's what makes me think of him.
That's what makes you think they found her?
Yes. To clear me from it.
Oh, to clear you? Wow. So can you tell me, when did you find out, or have you known this information for a long time and just kept it to yourself?
Well, no, I'm not.
Huh?
I've not known it that long.
You haven't known it that long?
No.
Okay.
This man just got out of jail not.
He just got out of jail?
Yeah, and he took something. And had told me.
Before he passed away?
Well, they found him dead in the cave.
So you've known since at least February then, right?
Yeah.
Nobody has posted the lie detector results.
Not the final read.
No, they haven't been. That was before the reading was even done. That's why it said no opinion. There was nothing about any type of deception anywhere.
Because that day she said she was wanting my address and stuff to send that copy that she done that day. But she done told me what it would say. She said, but
It's going to say suspect because they're going to look. That's just what it says on the form. Like,
I'd have to send
my guess. I don't know.
And request it through the
I'd have to see it.
Got all my stuff locked down, said I was under investigation over 2 murders.
What? You're under investigation over 2 murders?
That's what they're trying to say.
What the fuck?
I don't know what they're even talking about.
They follow you guys. Get in a vehicle and you follow him.
Yeah, to the top of Mountain View.
To the top of Mountain View.
That's where I turned around, was at the top of Mountain
You guys
View.
were in the same vehicle, you and Marvin?
Yeah.
So you guys follow him to see because you thought
Because he kept acting worried about getting robbed. For some reason. That's what we was more concerned about at the time, because he kept letting on like with all that money on him and stuff, he was worried about getting robbed. He was wanting to get back home.
So did he know you guys were following him?
No.
Just being nosy?
Yeah.
And then you followed him to that.
We went to the top of the mountain there at Mountain View and turned from Mountain View on. I'm trying to think, what is that, Big Mountain or Mountain Trail or something that he pulled onto and back into the church.
Cotton Simpson.
And that's where his beak was found the next day and stuff.
Cotton, he claimed, said Summer was underwater, in a cave, behind a waterfall. Search teams combed similar terrain, but nothing conclusive ever surfaced. The network of names around Cotton's death was tight and volatile.
It starts with Jason Arnold, and then Mindy Arnold, and then Peggy Hundley, and then it ends up with Brenda Simpson, and then Martha Simpson, the mom, and then it ends up with Roy Simpson, and then it ends up with Crawford's.
Really?
It keeps this van. It moves through all of them, and I'm kind of
So
thinking
they all definitely know each other then.
they all know each other.
Back in the day, Chad Arnold's brother, Jason Arnold, was infamous for armed abductions tied to drug debts and had targeted people connected to George Simpson and Dudley's uncle. Jason himself would become another unexplained death. Pete Clark, living near both the Wallens and Cotton on Bays Mountain, once questioned in Summer's case, now gone, another name on the list of sudden deaths.
This is where Pete lived when Summer went missing as well.
Where?
On this road. Pete Clark lived up this road. Pete ran and all that.
Yep.
Everything connected right here. Everything's with Pete or Clark. Pete's heart would run around and get each other with this kid.
Pete also lived at the back of Light Hollow with his partner, Glenda, Cotton Simpson's ex-wife and now Brandon's stepmom. Glenda and her brother live at the dead end of Light Hollow, and their dad built the church in the back of the woods. It was said that Glenda and Pete had become obsessed with the Summerwells case, even bringing Pete, who was questioned by TBI, often to tears when speaking about it.
Right over here is the pond, and right across this is where they live, dude.
Oh, they live right over there.
Yeah, like there's. You know,
Hi.
It's
Look.
a different house. I remember you from YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah, so I'm looking for Summer.
Yes.
Looking for Summer, looking like I just came down this road because I saw it like a mile away from their road.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you can cross this mountain right here, and you can be in, unfortunately, Fred Hill's backyard.
Fred Hill's backyard.
Yeah, my stepmom. Yeah.
Stepmom. Yeah, she said she saw me on YouTube.
Yeah, even my mom, even me. Like, you know what I mean? That one tried. I wasn't living right here, but I come and visit my stepmom.
What was she saying about it? Like,
blowing away all of us, really.
you know how many people care for Summer out there?
Dude, hey, look, my mom is obsessed with watching this shit on YouTube and everything, and it makes me cry.
And you guys are local.
Yes, hey, nobody comes and talks to us, dude. They don't even know about these whole
Dude, that is exactly what I said at the beginning, because I was filming down this road. What's this road called? Light Holler. And I was like, I haven't heard anyone search Light Holler.
Glenda and the back of Light Hollow was tied to almost every death surrounding the Summerwells case. Glenda was tied to so many players in the Summerwells case. She was even rumoured to be connected to Alison, Candace's ex-best friend and Hunter's mother, who also suddenly passed away. Glenda is also rumoured to be working with certain YouTube creators offering information or narrative. It was Pete's son, Brandon, who took YouTuber JLR through the property, pointing out the lay of the land, naming most of these names.
I still look for it. Every time I'm out here, dude, I look for anything.
So what are you looking for? Like clothing?
Anything, yeah. I found a blanket right here, and I showed you the best I left it there. So, dude, I had, me and my girlfriend, we ginseng hunt. And I had a little spot on the back. My cousin liked her bike. Him and his buddy and me are the only ones that come back here. You see what I'm saying? And there's another guy that patrols it.
Why is that porta potty here?
Dude, her brothers work for a place, and there's 3 of them on this property. They gave them to him, and he took them.
Who's he?
Archie.
Archie.
Yeah. I know Chad Arnold and Billy. I know Bill. We call him Wild Bill.
Fred Hill.
I've known him since I moved down here. Acquaintance. I don't talk to him that much anymore. You know what I mean? We had a little bit of falling out on some trading shit. But I know this. He ain't child molester. He ain't kids.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Look, he might be back in the sticks, secluded, and come up with his own wild theories, like everybody's entitled to. But nah, he didn't do nothing with no baby. And if you listen to him, he probably's onto something. You know what I mean? He knows these woods.
See, this is their property, I think.
This is that creek. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I said.
And that's the Menards.
Yeah. See, I ain't gonna say about that either, but there's certain people, there's normal people, there's law enforcement, you know what I mean? Some of these people are very, hey, you know, they might have a hot plan or make a little liquor or something, and so we ain't on the same teams, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to this little girl, I don't give a dude.
In the recent arrest of Chad Arnold and Ricky Jr., one has to speculate, are they now being questioned? Chad Arnold's court date keeps getting delayed, oddly, and Ricky Jr. was picked up on a case that lists the offence date as just weeks after Summer went missing. It has been reopened. Something we have heard before.
And your arrest has nothing to do with Summer, does it?
No. My case ain't got nothing to do with Summer.
But it was just weird timing, you know, because it was like...
Well, see, they got to come up when they start an investigation like that. In 2 years, they've got to close it and reopen. And where they closed her case, they reopened it again, it opened my case.
Oh, the Summerwells case? It was closed and reopened, is that what you're saying?
I said, where they 2 years was up on Summer, they had to close it and reopen it.
Oh.
To get a new start, it started back new again.
Do they do that every 2 years or something?
Well, where they had dropped hers, and it made mine pop up, that's why they grabbed mine right off the shelf real quick.
Now that the smoke is settling, we can see past the things that may be more irrelevant than once believed. The law doesn't seem interested in Fred nor Andy.
Unless concrete leads come up that we can sort of verify the direction it's headed, we're just accepting concrete leads, and your name has not come up.
Okay. Well,
that, and I wouldn't put too much faith in what Fred Hill is saying.
Andy Bernard was on that road that day, and nobody was questioning him. And he says he was at work all day.
Both us, TBI, and FBI have questioned him several times concerning that. Yes, he was on the road probably.
Fred Hill. Been talking to the TBI. I kind of get the feeling that when it comes to the Summerwells case, they're just not interested in Fred. I got a feeling that they're interested in someone else. You know, they're not interested in Fred.
Two individuals who have been in the spotlight of this case for its entirety. They are now both willing to take a polygraph exam in regards to the disappearance of Summer Wells.
Yeah, I'd be more than glad to take one on someone.
You really would? So, because they would let us, so I looked it up for like, it's like around $1,500. We would get 3 questions. Obviously, your wife gets one of the questions. No. Will you do it?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna make it happen, y'all. You heard it here.
Yeah, spread this around, and all the haters that are saying he'd never do it.
You know what?
They can pay for it.
Yeah, I will. There's Andy. Same deal goes out to you, Andy. I will make that happen.
An agreement almost too good to be true. So what do you make of all the recent connections? Should we go deeper?
Brenda, okay, so Brenda is my dad's sister, or was my dad's. I don't know if she passed away or not. In Warsaw, Indiana, next to Ziggy or near her. Oh, God. Fuck. She lives next to Ziggy. Wow.
Join us next week on As the Holler Turns.
Clock in. Okay.
Scooby fucking doo. If not for those pesky meddling kids.
Back to what I do. Catfish, Billy, baby, hello, how are you? You're my 9, rappers like a power line, fell into a swimming pool. I think I got the whole crew. Ooh, let me know what y'all wanna do. I bought a 30-pack of Creek water, baby, boo. 99, out of 99.99, like mine, I got 100 proof.
They're gonna be sorry they were ever born. Who? All of them.
I've been carving at this marble stone like Michelangelo since I was like 10 years old, and I was almost at the end of my wits when I saw my truth unfold. I was 25 years old, had that quarter-century glow. Safe and sound, box in the home. What you gonna say to me now? Ace with the crown, I'll straight to the ground, cause I miss my life aiming straight for the crown. The higher the climb is the greater the fall. Stiffer the drink is the deeper you sleep, and the more you put in is the more you withdraw, and the more things blur is the clearer I dream. Rely on me like the words of a saint, and nothing kill quicker than the burden of hate. The circle of time is the curve of your faith. It's pretty abstract, but I fuck with the shape. Loch Ness monster horns in a cape, flames of fury in the devil's face. And once you've conquered all that credulous race, the world ends cause you were 4 minutes late. You're safe and sound, fox in the hell. What you gonna say to me now? Ace with the crown, I straight to the ground, cause I missed my life aiming straight for the crown. I was in a hurry, skip the journey, let life sit by, aiming straight for the crown.